Hi there, I hope you're doing well. My name is Sam and I'm very keen on the self-development myself, and since it helps me a lot when I can see the progress of other people or what helped them to realize certain nuances, so I decided to also share my 5 insights over the past month of what I realized. It might not be so obvious, and I hope that it helps some other people too. So today the topic will be 5 insights I got over the past month and that helped me to grow and move forward more easily. And yeah, well, let me know if you have any other of your insights or anything else that you track or spotted and might not be so clear or easy to be aware of in the comments, or if you were interested into anything else as well. Well, now let's go to it. So the first insight over the past month, I think, is a very nice exercise, and it is take a piece of paper and list what you didn't like what's seriously triggered you, or what you didn't like in general about either what you don't like about your current partner or what you didn't like about your ex, and write it down and now go through the list. And this is what you should change in some way about yourself. And I think it's really good. Like if you don't like that the partner is controlling you or so you might actually be controlling yourself. Or I don't know what you get there, so I don't want to go into depth, but just think about it and go and change it. And what I noticed, and it's funny, is that if you change it, so usually the partner adapts to it, and so they change kind of naturally, they reflect the change onto themselves, and so they change the way they behave to you. So it's really funny. It reminds me of when I was reading the book of Women Are From Venus, Men Are From Mars, or vice versa, you know. So it's about the book is about communication between men and women, and from that book I got the impression, look, with this approach, just seriously, from the way you behave, you can really make any relationship work, right? Okay, today I would say that, okay, not everything, and you cannot, and it's not about changing the other person, it's about changing you, but you cannot really make work manipulative, whatever, toxic relationships, or you don't want to make them work, I think. And I am completely for getting out of places that do not be supportive to you or whatever. And yeah, there are environments that do not fit you, and it's completely normal, and the best way is to get out often. However, seriously, and I will talk about it shortly, if you change, so your surrounding changes. So really, this list is a great reflection. I don't think it's comfortable to read and to realize, but I think it can be a real game changer. And if you adjust these things, so first, you will not get the same patterns in your future relationships, most likely, if you really change it. And second, you will improve your environment, and you won't be really upset about other people, because they won't be triggering you anymore, because you will change this at yourself, so they won't be doing this at the same time. And I would add one very nice phrase I liked, and it's been taught by my favorite self-help guy. And it is, the world is a boring place when you don't have anyone to blame, right? So I really like this because it's exactly about this. Because if you really change a lot about yourself, so then the way you perceive the world and the way it reflects to you, it changes as well. And if you do not stay in the victim phase and you're like, you are aware about the responsibility for your life and for your perception, for your thoughts, for your behavior, so then there's really no one else to blame. So be ready for this, because then you might get upset that, blaming someone else, it's much easier, it's comfortable to do so. Okay, second, it's rather a reminder, but it was a nice pattern over the past month, definitely over the past weeks. And it's really about searching for the root causes of the problems. I think I get used to it, and it shaped me during my career in IT, because there you always have to search for the root cause. You have to investigate different possible options that were causing the problem. And I think it's a really nice, rather a mental model, it's a way of thinking, because it shapes your, the way you actually live, I would say. So I think that to all the IT people, this is kind of normal thing to do, that you go and you search for the root cause. You be like a natural problem solver, I think, because you're constantly resolving problems in IT. But if you're not from IT, or if you have never really experienced this kind of mindset, so it's more about, it's not obvious, it's not always obvious, and so it's about really looking at the problem from above and trying to broaden the perspective of what you think that might be causing the problem, and going deeper into it and trying to understanding all the influence of what was causing it. I'm just reading, because I wrote some notes, and I think that from the self-development or kind of happy life perspective, so I noticed certain, again, patterns of what I think might be the root causes, or the meta solutions that will resolve automatically the other problems. I think I wrote it in past weeks. It was a short article about the imposter syndrome. I don't believe in it. And it's because, the problem, it's just an example, okay? But if you have imposter syndrome as a problem, so you might be saying, I have the imposter syndrome, and it can be actually partly an excuse. Of course, there's those jokes like you cannot really have the imposter syndrome because, you don't really have anything to show. But I don't want to talk about this yet. You can, many times or often people search for artificial kind of causes, artificial excuses. And once you named it, so it's kind of framed, and let's resolve the frame. Or you can just say, I have this diagnosis, so it cannot be resolved. But there might be actually some root cause that if you resolved it, so you don't have this problem, or you don't have this frame, this tag, and you don't have a problem actually. And it's like, imagine that something caused you some disease, and you resolve the disease with some medicine, but the medicine also has some other side effects, and then you start resolving the side effects, and you're in an endless network of problems. But if you actually resolve the first thing, the first root cause, you wouldn't have all those other medicines and their side effects problems, and you wouldn't have the problem that it caused and so on. So this is what you want to do, I think, in all the aspects in life, and of course in IT. But if you really think about everything in life, or every problem you have in life from this perspective, so you can get there. So back to the imposter syndrome. It's about, actually, you're invalidating yourself at some point. You do not see your power, if you have some, you do not appreciate your own skills. Maybe you would say that others do not appreciate them, but it really has to start from you. If you are completely dependent on other people from this perspective, so you will be very limited, because from long term, you cannot assume that someone will support you all along the way. It's very helpful if someone be giving you some feedback at the beginning, because it helps you to direct yourself. But you should really, start and just do the thing, because it's the best way to do it. And none of us actually think that we're perfect. We're not. And I could say that I have an imposter syndrome to shoot such a video, because who am I to talk to other people about some progress? Well, whatever, but it's about, I have that healthy level of confidence to just go, do it, and shoot it, and publish it, and have the skin in the game. But what is really needed for this, I could go and say, look, I have the imposter syndrome, I will be not doing it because I don't believe it's good or whatever. And then someone else might come and say, no, just really, really do it. But it's not often that people really come and say such things, and you cannot count on it. So you have to search for the root cause of this in yourself. First, it will be caused by some kind of lack of self-esteem, lack of confidence. Maybe you don't see exactly, you may be invalidating your past goals, past success. So try to resolve these things. But currently, I'm also realizing that maybe part of this invalidation that is in myself is being caused by certain things in my childhood, that you have been so much invalidated that you might do not see your strengths. And it's valid, it's okay. Of course, the way is not to start blaming your parents, like, look, you've been invalidating me through my childhood, you were not supporting me, whatever, this is the root cause of why I have such problems today. No, go and work it through, and resolve your confidence, resolve your self-esteem. That way, you won't be saying like, it's not about even saying, you won't be even searching for, such tags like, or kind of diagnosis. This way, I don't want to invalidate serious diagnosis. There are serious problems, and it's normal, and it's completely fine. But it's also valid to just be able to distinguish between the real diagnosis and real problem, and a kind of created problem. So don't create problems. Resolve them, and as best resolve them at the root cause. Also, I wrote here down that some kind of meta solution is some health and balance, self-love, self-respect, and awareness. I signed this. Self-awareness, giving up self-control. I will talk about self-control shortly. And healthy confidence and self-satisfaction. Oh, self-satisfaction. It's, you have different levels of self-satisfaction. You don't want that self-satisfaction that makes you lazy, like when you say like, I'm already satisfied with myself, I don't need anything else. Of course, you're creating your own kind of meaning of life and whatever, like your next goals. It's being creating through yourself. You have to do the work, do the homework. Anyway, yeah, like if you're healthy, if you're satisfied with yourself in a healthy way, it means that you appreciate yourself and you're happy from your body, you're happy from your past results. You may just write them down if you are not aware enough of them. It's okay. But you're not in that other level when you are already like, yeah, I'm so good that I don't need, do anything else. So if you're on the healthy level of self-satisfaction, yeah, it helps you to do things, because then exactly you're healthy, you're confident in a healthy way. So again, it's like not being, egocentric, but yet appreciating yourself. It's normal to appreciate yourself. And actually, I was also mentioning that like asking for some kind of validation or feedback from the external world, again, in a balanced, healthy way, I think it's okay. I didn't list it as an insight, but it's actually an insight over the past weeks, and it is that I noticed that this society actually be telling you, or at least the Western society be telling you, oh, don't be dependent far too much on, or don't be dependent at all on the external kind of feedback, or be self-dependent and so on, and you have to resolve everything on your own. And if you are depending on the outside world, you're attached and so on. But I realized that, well, look, it doesn't mean that you are automatically dependent. You don't have to be dependent at all. But, we're part of society. If you create something and there was anyone else in the world, so what's the real meaning, Like we can say endlessly how much we are self-dependent, how much we don't need anyone and so on. Well, if you don't need anyone, you're also not needed. And I feel that partly in the society, the need is kind of invalidated. But when you actually have the need of other people, you think differently. You aim for long-term relationships, because you know that from long-term relationships, you will more actually benefit yourself. Because if you have a long-term relationship, you can rely on someone. If something happens to you, so other people will more likely help. They are not required to do so, okay? They do not have to, but they will more likely help you because you're part of some kind of community or society. So this complete self-dependence, and I think I was an expert in it, is actually, it's toxic as well. So again, it's about balance and accepting that you're part of society and you do not have to be only dependent on yourself, and that it doesn't mean that you should be requiring help 24/7 from others, but again, just really accepting and being aware that you're part of other people. You're You're not just yourself, you're in some kind of symbiosis, in some kind of relationship with other people. And so also your actions are being connected to them. And it's normal. Requesting a feedback on the way you behave, how it affects other people, how it affects the society, it's completely fine, okay? And even having this kind of, a little dopamine hit from other people, validating yourself that, wow, you're on your way, like thumbs up, I like what you're doing. It's okay. It's okay that you want it, but again, be aware of the balance. Like if you're completely dependent on your likes on Instagram, whatever, if it's the only way to validate yourself, that can be toxic. It is toxic if you're completely dependent on it. But yet, if you are starting something new, so it can be helpful to you to actually understand your value. Or maybe not a value, but rather like if you're on kind of right way. I don't say this to like make some kind of self-censorship based on others. Be yourself. I think this is fine. And I think we all have some kind of need for self-expression. Just all of us do it in a different way. And to be able to self-express, we need space to be accepted the way we are. So I don't think that we should alter ourselves based on the feedback completely. But yet some part of feedback or some part of acceptance at least is very valuable to you if you're starting out something new. I would compare this to the market. So when you are, let's say, I don't know, you thought that, it would be a great idea to start making red-only AirPod case, and you would be like, oh, this is amazing, So you start making the red AirPod cases and you start selling them. And it will be very expensive. Let's exaggerate it. It will be very expensive. And you go to the market and, like, let's say you will start selling them at some village, okay? Let's really exaggerate it. And you're standing there and you're like, oh, no one is selling this. Okay, maybe I will have to investigate more into, maybe I will have to invest more into the marketing campaign, or I will create another website and so on. And so you see, first, you're not resolving the real cost, and it would be much more valuable if you would test the idea, if you would actually make some kind of research, like, does the market actually want it? Do people want this kind of thing? Is this a way that will this resolve some kind of problem that people solve? And you will get to know that now, and you don't have to, to create these cases. And then you end up at home with dozens of thousands of cases, red cases for the AirPods. You'd be like, damn it, like, yeah, you can create a trend in the society. You can make everyone believe that they need a kind of red case. But it may not work always, and you cannot force people to buy it. You cannot. It's not a way to influence people. Yeah. So I don't think that the fact that you need for partly validation of other people, it doesn't mean that you're dependent completely on it, but it's normal. It's completely normal because you are part of society. We all are part of society. You're not like one and there are all those people. You are part of it. It's a symbiosis, it's a relationship. So don't think that you're kind of less just because you're asking for some kind of feedback or validation or so on, or if it's normal that you appreciated other people text you, that you bring them value. Well, it's perfect. I'm happy for you that you bring value to other people, and there will be people who won't like it, but they may project their own problems and frustrations on you, so disregard this. But it's normal and it's helpful to you. Okay, next. So third, yeah, great. Third is a very simple idea, and it is that other people can invalidate us only until only to the level that we allow them to be invalidated ourselves. So the root cause for this is, again, in ourselves. If you invalidate yourself, other people can invalidate you. You will never get completely rid of the possible invalidation. It's normal, kind of, that someone will try or someone will invalidate you, your emotions, your feelings, your thoughts, whatever, your ideas. It may be their own frustration, whatever. Again, you're not completely dependent on the other. That's partly connected to what I've been just saying. You're not completely dependent on the outside world. So search for, create your strong foundation in yourself. Do you validate your own ideas and your thoughts? Are they valid to you? Do you believe in them? Do you stand by your words? If you do, and if you believe that your actions and whatever are valid, are valuable, so other people won't be able to actually invalidate them, because you understand that, well, their opinion, well, thank you, but you won't feel invalidated, because you know that if it will be some bad, some stupid opinion about something that you do, I would say, I think that the best example is there are certain people who are frustrated themselves. I don't say everyone, but many people who are just frustrated, they don't have job they enjoy, they don't have family they would like, they just have it out of some kind of commitment or because of force of their own family. They don't live what they want, and they're not happy with themselves, and they decided that they don't want to, because it's a decision to not do things. So they decided that they don't want to do anything about it. They will just live this way and whatever, because it's easier. It's okay. It's a decision. It's a decision. You're deciding comfort. Who am I to judge it? It's fine. But again, it's a decision. Sadly, the problem is that such people usually tend to comment on other people who may be successful or who may live a better life or whatever, and they will be like, oh, I'm sure that you had to, take those money from someone else, steal, you definitely have rich parents, or they try to invalidate your success in some other forms, or they may even say that it's not a success as well at all. For example, I got some comment on LinkedIn. It was I don't remember what was my post about, but it was about the office, whatever. I write on LinkedIn about remote work, and there was some guy. I don't understand why he had the urge to do it, but whatever. Who was texting me there something like, "Look, little girl, you should rather go, I don't know, back to your country and not to travel at all, and just shut up and be silent. Go to the office and work as some kind of, office manager or whatever. Drink your coffee and just don't express yourself." I was like, and it's worth stopping for a little and thinking, look what this message creates. What value does it bring? because my post was, I tried to motivate people to live a more fulfilled life, and remote work is part of this. And that person just commented on me like, look, like, what are you trying to say here? You know, just you're young, you don't know what life is about. And you know, it's stupid. It's completely stupid. It doesn't create any value. But it had some, it had some likes, and there are other people who would be like, yeah, this guy, he showed her, you know, I don't know. And you understand that it doesn't help anyone. It's just like expressing own frustration to someone else, and you will encounter this through your life, and it's fine. But yeah, like, it didn't invalidate me, because I understood that, well, look, that person just doesn't create any value. I do, and so why, whatever. I blocked him, and you know, because it doesn't make sense to invest my own energy into this. And I hope that this is my last mention of the person. I don't even know how he's called. I'm sorry that he has such a frustrating life, that he must do such actions. So you will encounter these people, and it's normal. It happens. Just don't forget about it. If you have a strong foundation in yourself, again, some kind of healthy self-awareness, healthy self-esteem, well, you won't really be affected by such people. Okay. Fourth, I'm so talkative. Why I didn't do this before? It's not an insight, but yeah, it's long, and I hope that some people will find some value in this, or some insights as well. So fourth, convert the sadness and anger into the energy. This is just such a good exercise. Yeah, there's when you have emotions like sadness and anger, they're normal. It's worth acknowledging them and accept them, that okay, your emotions are out here, and you can actually use because they contain a huge amount of energy. Like, you are, it's your emotion, okay? So yeah, you can get rid of it, and you can just start working and just not focus on it. But actually, if you really acknowledge it and accept it to be part of you, and work on it, like, you know, I think I have a great example, and it is, imagine that you're after a breakup, and you're very sad and very angry. You acknowledge this emotion because you were angry, and you feel that kind of energy, and you're like, I want to go running, you know. And so go running, and you will have the best result ever in your life, I guess. And so this is a way you can actually work with sadness and anger through your life. And it's been one of the things that I found over the past weeks, and I find it very interesting. So yeah, I started working on this, really acknowledging how do I feel, and when I was sad or angry, I was like, yeah, I didn't try to, you know, to make it disappear. I just acknowledged it, and it's like, okay, I accepted it, that it's actually a part of energy that I can work on, and yeah, I can use it for my own results, for my own profit. So I recommend doing it. Like, it's more, again, about the self-awareness. So it's about understanding different perspective of how you feel and how you can work with your emotions. And it's powerful. It's really good, and it can last for long. So it's a lot of energy you already have in yourself. yeah. And the fifth, my last insight, it's not the last, it's the last I just reminded myself about. So my last insight I wanted to share today. Oh, okay. Is that it's not maybe just insight, but rather a reminder. And I was just very aware of it over the past month, and it's that we really attract like-minded people. So over the past month, I had I think that I went through certain changes myself, mainly about perception, about how I feel and but even like how I behave. But yet it's really internal change that maybe some other people won't really recognize, but I recognize a lot, and I feel like I changed so much in matter of days, and then again and again and again. And it's so funny because the outside world seriously started attracting, I started attracting different people, and people started behaving differently to me. When I increased on my mind my self-worth, when I increased the way I perceive myself, when I started acknowledging my successes or whatever, like when I realized that, look, my self-worth is higher than I thought. You may say that it's such a stupid little thing that cannot have an effect, but no, it has a serious effect, and the surrounding world just sees the worth because you really express it, and people treat you differently, like from the day one, and that's massive. So it's really difficult to express it, but I really have to say how I'm grateful to it, and it's partly connected to the self-expression. So the more I express myself, the more I attract like-minded people, because of course I broaden the reach of my words, or broaden the reach of my thoughts and who I am. So of course I increase the chances that I will attract like-minded people. And I would say that this is actually the best way for socializing. So if you want to, or for networking, if you want to network with other people, people are using, Tinder, or I don't know what apps are out there. And I was thinking, like, should I download Tinder? And in case I wanted like my kind of ideal partner or whatever, I'm like, just no. Because that way I'm going back to what Twitter is expressing about yourself, which is only the way you look. And I'm wondering, is this the way I want to attract someone? Well, yeah, one guy told me a nice phrase, which was like, not all the men are intelligent, but all the men have eyes, or most guys are not blind. And sure, that's great, and it's good to take care of yourself from the physical perspective, of course, but yet it's not the way I want to attract someone at the first place. So first, to me it's very important the intellectual level. So the best way to do this is actually to express myself through social media, okay. Or I can go to some events, but with like-minded people. I don't like those general networking events because they have the limitation that you won't really meet, like-minded people. Let's say I'm a libertarian, the best way for me is to be around libertarians. So I search for like-minded clubs, I search for such communities, And if I cannot find them, so I found them myself, because I want to be surrounded by like-minded people, which got me to the idea I wanted to actually create or make happen already back in February this year. So I wanted to found some kind of self-development club here in Tbilisi in Georgia, because I'm an expat here. And I postponed it back later because of the events. Anyway, the thing is that I couldn't find any such community here. So it's like, okay, I will just found it myself. I will organize the events myself, and I will just give speeches there. And I will more likely, connect to people who care about their self-development or someone who are ambitious and so on, because I want to surround myself with such people. The thing is that when you start improving yourself, your environment, your surroundings will change naturally, because you will attract different people. And the problem is that you have to accept this, that if you improve yourself and your current friends or current surrounding does not, if they do not have this kind of, they might even invalidate it, like, why are you so ambitious? Why you keep moving so fast? And they actually hold you back. And we say, I don't want to lose contact with such people. You do want to lose contact with such people, because you are at their level. You will stay at their level if you, and I don't want to say that it's bad again. Yeah, okay, like you choose a slower path, you choose to be comfortable, to whatever, it's completely okay. The thing is that if you're working on yourself, and if you surround yourself with people who are also working on themselves and who are driven, who are ambitious, who keep doing things, who keep organizing things, whatever, it doesn't matter in what area they work, just like that they keep really moving and they have a similar speed to yourself, to similar speed to the way you think. There are such people. You need to attack them. And if you keep holding yourself back with people who don't have this kind of sense, so you will stay at their level naturally, or it's very difficult to move forward. So despite it hurts, maybe it doesn't mean you have to completely cut off your friends or your schoolmates from high school or so on. They're great people, and it's nice to once a few months have a coffee with them. But especially from such perspective, once you meet such people, once a few months, you realize how much you changed actually, and how little you have in common. And do you want to surround yourself with people who you don't have that much anymore in common? It is normal that you distinguish yourself or that you differ. You cannot be the same as other people, okay? So and at the same time, I don't want to because it's not supposed to tell you that you're not anyhow above others, okay? You're just different. You have different priorities right now, and it's fine. Like someone who is focused only on their family, they will care about their family, about their house, about some close friends, about their garden. And it's okay, it's their priority, it's the way they want to spend time. Respect it. If you do not respect it, if you say, what hobbies you have, is this important, No, it's not important for you, but it's important to them. So just let them live, okay? It's normal that the paths just differ, that they split, and you can let go of some people, and you can just stay in touch with some people, just not being regularly in touch with them, because if you want to change yourself, your surroundings will change, and it's for better for you. And at the same time, if you be saying, like you're surrounded by by I don't know who, you know, like some people who you do not like probably. So ask yourself, how did this happen that you attracted such people? And this is again back to the partner question, like well, if you attract some kind of like toxic people, for example, so how come that this happened to you? Maybe you're toxic yourself. And but yet, you know, like if you have been manipulated, for example, or if you were abused, so there's a fly here. If you were, for example, abused by someone, so you might be abuser yourself actually. Or the other way is, you know, it's again to the root cause. So the problem might be that you have lack of like the boundaries. So that's why those people use you, because you let them to use you. Yeah. So this is actually a nice thought to reflect about. And that's it from me today. I think that's a lot of insight. And I find that simple, but actually, you know, it's like now retrospectively it seems like being obvious, but yet it's not so obvious at the first place. So I hope that you get some kind of, at least, you know, shades of some topics that you might haven't been thinking about before. And because this is my kind of first video like that, so I'll be happy if you would tell me some feedback. Please just express yourself, whatever, and let me know if you were interested in something else, if there's something particular that you would love to learn from me. And you know, you want to have bees actually at home in November, because whatever. Anyway, yeah, let me know what you think. If you have any insights that you would love to share, or if you have any questions, or if you want me to mention anything else in the future, let me know as well, or contact me or my other social media. I will put them in the description. Subscribe and and have a lovely day. Take care and yeah, and see you around. I hope to shoot something more in the close future. Cheers!